President Shri Rahul Gandhi ji, respected Sonia ji, members of the Congress Working Committee, distinguished delegates from abroad, dear friends, colleagues and ladies and gentlemen. The Congress Party's vision, outline of policies and programs is contained in all the 4 resolutions which are before you. I can do only a small bit to elaborate some of the points which have figured prominently in this session of the Congress plenary. You will all agree with me that the foremost task and challenge before our country is to get rid of chronic poverty, ignorance and disease which still afflict millions and millions of people in this country. A lot has been done to deal with these problems, but I would be the last one to deny that the task is still incomplete and we have a long journey ahead of us. Sonia ji has given our party a distinguished guidance which has enabled us to deal with some of these pressing issues before our time. The rights legislation that has been enacted during the UPA period, dealing with right to education, right to information, Food Security Act, the right to forest dwellers, the right to education, all these rights legislation are historic legislation designed to improve the capacity of our country to get rid of poverty from this ancient land of ours. During the 10 years of the UPA period, Sonia ji's guidance was a great tower of strength to me, and I join all of you in saluting Sonia ji for the magnificent guidance that she provided the UPA government. Because of her guidance and leadership, we were able to achieve a lot. For the first time in the history of our country, in the 10-year period of the UPA, the growth rate of our economy was 7.8% per annum. We recognize that growth by itself is not everything. There is need for inclusion, there is need for social justice, and it is in that context that the guidance provided by Sonia ji will improve our capacity to deal with problems of social justice as effectively as is humanly possible. The BJP government has messed up the economy. When Modi ji was campaigning, he made lots of tall promises. Those promises have not been fulfilled. He said that the BJP, if it comes to power, will provide 2 crores of jobs. We have not seen even 2 lakhs of jobs. In fact, the ill-thought and the ill-considered legislation with regard to demonetization and a hastily put forward the legislation for the GST have destroyed many jobs. They have created problems for small industry, for medium industry, for the informal sector, both in terms of producing more and in terms of providing more jobs. And I am not boasting of manufacturing facts. The Economic Survey 1978, which was placed before Parliament a few weeks ago, says itself all that needs to be said to bring out the inadequacy of the approach of the BJP government in meeting the challenges of our time. And I quote the Economic Survey, just when the world economy has risen steadily from a growth rate of 2.8% in 2014 to a projected growth rate of 3.8% in 2018, the Indian economy has decoupled itself from the world economy. The economy faces 3 main challenges, says the Economic Survey: education, health, agriculture, and employment. Real agricultural growth rate has stagnated in the last 4 years. Therefore, the Economic Survey itself brings out the inadequacies of the approach of the BJP government in solving social and economic problem of our country. It is the challenge for the Congress party to once again take the lead in finding new pathways to deal with problems of poverty, ignorance, and disease. And I would only say that the BJP government made tall promises. Modi ji himself said, we will double farmers' incomes in 6 years' time. Now, if you have to double farmers' income in 6 years' time, you need a growth rate of 12% per annum as the minimum. And that is unthinkable. Therefore, it is one of those statements which is merely a Jumla type statement which is not likely to be achieved, and Modi ji himself recognizes that these are tall promises. 2 crore jobs per annum is one of those promises which again is a pipe dream minted by the Modi government. Ladies and gentlemen, India stands at the crossroad. We have opportunities, we have also challenges. Challenges have to be met effectively, opportunities have to be seized objectively, and I sincerely hope that this session of the Congress Party will provide a new pathway to chart out for the future of our country. Other than the economic issues which will be highlighted by my colleague Shri Chidambaramji, I would also like to point out that the BJP government talks in terms of fighting 2.5 wars, but when it comes to providing adequate defense expenditure support, the task appears to be yet another hollow promise. One finds today that the defense expenditure of our country is no more than 1.6% of our GDP, far too inadequate to meet the challenges that our security apparatus faces and needs. Already Anand Sharma ji has mentioned eloquently the problems of foreign policy that need to be tackled and which are being mismanaged by the Modi government. First and foremost is the problems with regard to our neighbors. India is destined to remain a neighbor for many countries, and it is our task to find pathways to create an environment of support, friendship, and moving ahead together. Congress Party worked in that direction, whether it is Bangladesh, whether it is Pakistan, whether it is Nepal, whether it is Sri Lanka, whether it is other countries, including China. We have problems, but these problems have to be sorted out peacefully, not in an atmosphere of hostility and shouting at each other. With regard to Pakistan, we must recognize that Pakistan is our neighbor. We are worried about the support that that country provides to the support that Pakistan gives to cross-border terrorism. That certainly is not acceptable to us. We must therefore warn Pakistan that this is a path which is mutually destructive of peace and prosperity in the subcontinent. It is as much in the interest of Pakistan as in the interest of India that our two countries must sort out all problems sitting together peacefully and give up this path of support of terrorist elements emanating from our cross borders. But at the same time, we must recognize that the Modi government has mismanaged the Jammu and Kashmir problems as never before. They have installed a government where the two wings of the government are working against each other. The atmosphere in Jammu and Kashmir is deteriorating day in and day out. That is obvious from the fact that our borders are not secure, whether it is the cross-border terrorism or internal terrorism, internal insurgency. There are today issues which are a source of great worry to all our citizens, and the Modi government has not found ways and means of tackling this problem. It probably feels that these issues can be sorted out by themselves. That's not going to happen. Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India, and we all must recognize that, and we do recognize, but we also must recognize that our country needs to recognize the special problems of Jammu and Kashmir, and we must deal with those problems with all seriousness. Ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the issues that I thought I would raise before this August gathering. The Congress Party is a party which has made India what we are today. The Congress Party is the party which led our freedom struggle. The Congress Party is the party which guided India in the path of development after India became free. The Congress Party today is being invited and challenged to play a similar historical role to carry forward the process of development and social justice. Under Rahul Gandhiji's leadership and guidance of Sonia Ji, I am confident that our party will play that historic role in years to come, and we all wish Rahul Ji all success in carrying forward the process of sustained growth, development and social justice of the people of India. Jai Hind.